Hi, everyone. Have you ever asked yourself, at what age do I stop parenting my adult child? And I believe the answer is we don't stop parenting, but balance is so crucial. And so today I want to talk about that subject. For those of you that are new here to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Sally Harris, and I help moms. Obviously, if you're on this channel, I help moms who have adult children who have gone astray for one reason or another. And I help the mom, not the child, but I help the mom get her life back on track by creating boundaries, taking a look at enabling and communication techniques and issues that you may be having. So you can hopefully reinstate your relationship with your adult son or daughter, and hopefully better than before. So I'm so glad you're here. Let's dive into this topic. There's 3 tips that I want to give you in this, because when you look at what does it mean when you have an adult child and you at some point you want to become friends with them, right? Because you are not in control. And so we really need to take a look at that. So number one, I kind of chuckle because all of the moms that I coach, this is one thing that I tell all of them, and that's no unsolicited advice. So your adult son or daughter does not want your advice, because I promise you, if they do want your advice, they will ask for it. And more times than not, we as moms tend to offer advice when it's not asked. And that's where some major issues can come into play. So not offering advice unless it's asked. And one technique you can use is if you're having a conversation and it feels like maybe they're asking you, you can very calmly just say, hey, did you want me to just listen, or did you want my advice? And honor whatever they say, right? It's kind of like a friend. If a friend was having a conversation with you, maybe you would, but you're probably not going to throw a bunch of responses at him or her with a bunch of solutions without even being asked, right? So keep that in mind, especially with our kids. So number 2 is to get to know them as adults. Like I said, just like a friend. And with that comes respect. Now, I know a lot of you right now are having issues with respect with your adult children. So this is something we're working towards. This is something that we want to work towards. And you want to have those boundaries, right? We need to have the boundaries around you, mom, so that the kids can understand how this relationship can work. So they may have some boundaries around you, and you can have them around them. But really, taking a look at the enabling and all of that. But as parenting adult kids, we ultimately want to be able to be friends with them, but having a mutual respect, right? So I think that's really important. I think what happens sometimes is I've seen a lot of moms who kind of grow up with their kids. Maybe they had their child really young, and it makes it really hard for them to have that separation of I'm mom or I'm your friend. And so as they get older, we want to keep that separate, but yet, as they do, or as they're over 18 and maybe they have families of their own or whatnot, you do tend to be more friends, which is fine, but needs to be a mutual respect there too. And then thirdly, be firm about terms of living. If you have a child, if your son or daughter's living under your roof, there's one thing I think is very important, regardless of how much you ask them to pay for rent. I don't care if it's $20 or $1,000. Doesn't matter what it is. They have to be contributing. So if, let's say, they're living at home because they're trying to save money, well, you're not going to make them pay a whole lot of rent probably, because then kind of defeats the purpose of saving the money. However, they need to be participating in some way, whether it's groceries, or maybe they're paying, a little bit of groceries and the electric bill, or whatever you work out with them. But just keep in mind, I think it's super important, because it shows they've got some skin in the game. Because a lot of times when your kids move home, they tend to just kind of, they're not really saving money. They're living their own life. They're going out, they're doing their stuff. But they're not paying their way, but they're also not saving. And so you got to be careful with that. And that's kind of where household expectations, if they're living at home, the boundaries around you for your own, emotional and physical health, they're super important. And so if you are interested in any one-on-one coaching, I do it I do one-on-one, and then I also do some group coaching. You can click the link below. You click on Discovery Call. It gives us 30 minutes to have a conversation around what's going on in your situation. But really, I want to hear about you also. So with the first part, we talk about what's going on with your child and the family. And then I want to hear about how it's affecting you, because that's where I can help. So I hope that helps you today, and I will see you next time. Thanks.